Sun and clouds today, 72. Partly cloudy, chilly tonight, 41. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, 71. And by the time we get to Monday, kind of the same thing, times of clouds and sun, and about 71. Across the region right now, if you are on Garfield Parkway heading toward the bandstand, it is 55 in Bethany Beach, 55 also at the ferry terminal in Lewis, and it's 54 in Georgetown at the airport. I'm Walt Parkus in the Delaware 1059 newsroom.
The following program is a paid commercial presentation. The comments, views, and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff, management, or advertisers of Delaware 1059.
Good morning. Jim Weller here. It's a nice Saturday morning here on Delmarva, and you are listening to Weller Does Delmarva. And today, I've got a really interesting show for you. I believe every show has been pretty interesting, but this one is real interesting. We're doing it actually at my house. We're in Lincoln, doing it at my home. So we are live right here. We're all awake. My wife has fixed snacks. Brooks is the executive producer. I've got Sean and Andy both here from First Class Heating and Air. And we're going to do a home energy test on my house. So I've posted some pictures on Facebook already. So if you go to Jim Weller on Facebook, you could see some of the gizmos and machinery that they're using to do things with. And it's quite amazing and interesting. So, I guess if my house passes the test, I don't get to spend any money, but if my house doesn't pass the test, then I'll be allowed to do all kinds of upgrades to my house. But anyway, I want to mention a couple sponsors real quick. Speaking of my house, all my insurance, my homeowner's insurance, my automobile insurance, my workman's compensation, all my liability insurance, all my umbrella policies. You know how you have a little thing in your living room and it's full of umbrellas? I've got a whole drawer full of umbrella policies. So anyway, I have all kinds of insurance, and I deal with L&W Insurance Agency from Dover. They've been serving Delaware and the Delmarva Peninsula for over 60 years. A good friend of mine, Bill Strickland, owns it, and I just want to thank them for sponsoring my show, Weller Does Delmarva, and let you know if you want to talk insurance, you give them a call, 856-7828. They'll break it down to even where a guy like me can understand insurance. So anyway, give them a call, 856-7828. They're on the web at lwinsurance.com. Then I want to mention my accountant, George Luff. He has Luff & Associates in Milford, Delaware. They also have an office now in Rehoboth and Dover. So if you have any questions, they have one phone number for you to remember. I'll be giving that out in just a second. But anyway, it's Luff & Associates. They are my accountant, but they also do our payroll. Easy payroll is what it's called. So in other words, my daughter, she's actually getting ready to go on vacation, but it used to be when she went on vacation, she had to take everything with her, the printer, the copier, and all that. So anyway, now when she goes on vacation, she don't have to worry about payroll at all. So if you own a small business, a big business, one employee, hundreds of employees, give them a call, 422-9699, 422-9699. Luff & Associates, they'll take good care of you. Now, want to let you know that we record these shows. So Sean and I are actually sitting here at my kitchen table. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Jim. How
are you? I'm good. I'll brag on First Class Heating and Air in a little while. I had a really unique experience. I have a rental house. Everybody that's listening has heard how many times I had the underneath of my house encapsulated, and I gave tours of it, and it's quite interesting. But you're here today with the thermal imaging camera also,
yes,
which kind of testifies to the fact that sealing underneath the house made a difference.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I actually got to see it on this camera. But first of all, you're with First Class Heating and Air.
We are.
And your name is Sean, and I guess you are the sales manager?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so you head up all the sales and dish out all the discounts.
Absolutely.
Okay, so anyway, what I usually do is double the price and then cut it in half. So
that's not fair, but
but anyway, so we first met. You came out to my house and looked at when I needed a new heating system, heating and air. And then while you were at it, you talked to me a little bit about encapsulating the underneath, which caught my attention more than the heating and air. Because the heating and air I needed, the encapsulation is more for my benefit in the future, I feel, more an energy savings type thing.
Yes.
But today we're here live at my house doing, what would you call it?
This is actually a home performance test.
Okay. So we're going to see how well my home performs against all the other ones in the competition.
Absolutely.
Okay. So like on the front door, you've brought Andy with you. And so there's Andy. So anyway, on the front door, what would you describe that gizmo?
That's we call it a RetroTech. It's a blower door.
Okay, a blower
now,
door.
What it is a glorified big fan
Okay.
that we put a couple panels in there and simulate a fake front door, but have a fan in there.
Okay.
And what that does is actually we'll pull a negative pressure on the house.
Really?
So we close up all the other windows and doors, and so that's the only point of exfiltration that we can basically make.
So if there are any dog hairs on the floor, they're headed to that fan.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's right. That's right.
I've lost all my hair.
There you go.
So in other words, now I'm jealous of the dogs who shed. But
Right.
anyway, yeah, stand back, watch your
back.
clothes. All right, so we're going to create a negative.
Negative pressure on the house, and what that does is when air leaves the house, it
Right.
has to come into the house from other sources. So that's called
Okay.
exfiltration and infiltration, to get technical. But all that means is every time the house breathes, it needs to breathe a certain number of times an hour to be healthy.
Really?
So between 5 and 7 times an hour is really where you want to be as a target health house. The tighter that house is, the more energy efficient the house is, but sometimes it can be too tight, and you actually have to bring in fresh makeup air, mechanical air. And
Bring it in
so-
boxes, bags? Or
Yes,
where?
whatever is the
Okay.
most convenient way to do that.
Barrels.
Yeah.
We bring ours in barrels.
Yeah. But so basically, every time the house is breathing, if it's breathing more often than it should, it's also taking out all your heating and cooling. So you're spending a lot of money to
Okay.
condition that air that's really going right outside. Now I don't know if that
Is
contributes to,
wise or
yeah,
not,
yes.
right? If all your animals are laying right outside your door or something like that, they're getting all the hot or cool air.
Right. So you're helping with global warming as well.
Right.
But, so what this does is when the air goes out, we can see exactly where it's coming in from.
Wow.
And see
So this is
where
like
the
a
infiltration-
science.
It is. It's building science. Absolutely.
Well, so
and
we're not
it's-
spending a lot of money on guesswork.
No, and this pinpoints it. We can literally see it with the infrared
When
camera.
you're done, will you be able to give me like an exact quote?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Really?
What we do is we do this test. It gives us all the figures. It tells us how many times it is breathing. Then we find out where it's breathing from, what pressures are different, what rooms are different. If it's coming from the attic, if it's coming from windows, wherever it happens to be coming from, leaky doors, things like that. A lot of times we find that the ceiling is the leakiest part. You look at all the recessed can lights you have in here and all that, and those are little holes that are cut into the attic. But in the summertime, all that heat is coming down through. The hot's trying to get to the cold, so that heat is infiltrating through the ceiling.
What, does hot go after cold?
Yep, hot
No
always tries to go to the
kidding.
cold. So in the wintertime, you have the heat in the house going straight out to the attic, and in the summertime, you have the heat from the attic trying to get in, trying to fight to get to that cold air. So it's a neat science. It's the physics of heat.
No
But
wonder I get dizzy when I go in the attic. There's like a big war going on up
that's
there.
right. Yeah. These, if you can visually see it, it's these convection loops of air. So if you can
Really?
actually see that air moving, you'll see these circular patterns of the heat moving around.
So
But-
if somebody's listening and they're like, whoa, this is way more than I wanted at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. I need another cup of coffee. What you're saying is, though, when you do this and you talk to somebody, they don't have to do it immediately. But what you're saying is you can almost say to them, if you want to invest blank, 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 whatever needs to be fixed, it will pay itself back over a period of time.
Exactly. Yep.
It's just kind of like investing in your future energy costs or less future energy costs.
Exactly. You can really that what your utility costs are, and you can see that, especially this winter. I mean, I've heard horror stories about propane and fuel oil bills and things. But if you know that your house is a prime example, my father's house. I tested it this year for him. He was complaining about high energy bills, and finally got him convinced for me to come over there and look at
Okay.
it. And his house was breathing 25 times an hour. He paid about almost $4,000 in fuel oil this year, and so we found the problems. We found his crawl space was very bad, very leaky.
Wow.
The attic was almost poor insulation. It was an older house. He had an addition put on. The addition tested worse than the original structure of the home that was 50, 60 years old. But
Oh
what
my
we did
God,
is
that
we
is
were able
sad.
to come through and seal it up. We spray foamed the top of the house. We did an encapsulation underneath. We blew in insulation, and after we tested it out, after all the work was done, we were down to 9 air exchanges. So he cut down a
Really?
tremendous amount of
Yes.
things on there. So what that's going to translate to is next winter,
He's
I'll
gonna
get a
see
nicer
a
Christmas
note-
present.
That's right.
But
He'll complain less.
yes, but it does, and so it's an exact science. You can fix the problems if you can measure it. If you can see it, it gives solutions for it, and then we also come up with an actual pattern of what should be done in order it should be done. What's going to be the biggest benefit versus, okay, this is going to help you out here, but health and safety wise, you need to do this, this, and this first. And then energy wise, you need to do this. And then, basically just for comfort, we need to do this. And that's really where we can break it down to see, okay, yes, the total project could be, pretty expensive when you add into
$200-300
or more. But then, when you figure that over, and then with financing, we can finance all the options to do it as well.
You don't do that 0% financing on this.
Some of them don't qualify for that.
Okay,
We have to have
okay,
systems
I was
and all
gonna
that.
say.
But they do have very low interest rate financing. So
Really?
3 to 4% interest rate. We do have 24
Well, your
months.
energy savings could be more than 3 to 4%.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. So you're going to be saving money. You're
So even if you do finance it and pay the interest, you actually save more, or not everyone's exact, but it's possible.
absolutely.
Because I started out thinking to myself, you ever go look at one of them timeshares?
Mm-hmm.
And when you go in, you're like, I am not buying nothing. I am not buying nothing. And when I had you come out here, I was thinking, I am not buying nothing. Now you got me thinking,
Right.
maybe I ought to listen to what you have to say. So anyway.
it's not a gimmick. It's not anything else. I mean,
No, it's a
proof, and
science, it looks
exactly.
like.
And you can sit there even as a smart investor and a wise money person. You can sit there and watch. Wow, this is going to pay for itself.
Gosh.
I'm not going to invest
All
in
right.
something that won't. So
All right. Well, anyway, so we're talking about a home energy audit
yes.
being done live right here on Delaware 1059. This may be a first. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I got a couple other commercials, and then we're going to take a break. But it's First Class Heating and Air. Best number is 934-8900.
8900.
What is it on the web? It's first.
First.
You go ahead.
Yeah, it's firstclasshvac.com. That's all spelled out. firstclasshvac.com.
And not to brag on you too much, but I had a rental house that you arrived on Monday, not you yourself, but your serviceman, determined that not the heat, it's an air conditioner, that what's it called? The
compressor.
Was bad. What was it, like 19 years old or
Yeah,
something?
just
So
about that.
anyway, so to fix that was a certain amount of money, and I thought, well, let's just go ahead and price a new heating and air conditioning system, a heat pump, and you're installing it today. Now,
Yes.
is that just because we're talking about it on the radio, or, I mean, do people really get 1 week service on a new system?
Yes, absolutely. Emergency
I
change
found that a
outs
little
and-
just amazing, you know.
We try to get it in as fast as possible. I mean, it's a demanding market. It's a demanding time. Especially now with the season. It used to be that people couldn't live without heat, and now it's people can't live without air conditioning
Correct.
anymore. So, but yes, so a turnaround time for us, emergency changeouts, we get them in absolutely as fast as possible. We've done them the next day before.
Really?
We typically try to schedule out as much as we can. With normal installations, we're usually about a week or so out, but
Gosh.
we work with customers, work with people's schedules. We do it in after hours. We do it on weekends. Whatever
Wow.
we can.
All right. Well, thank you. So we're going to be back in a few minutes, folks. I got a couple commercial breaks. Want to talk to Brooks for just a minute, but we are here at my house with First Class Heating and Air, and we are doing some energy tests, energy audits. I posted a couple pictures on Facebook, so you can look me up, the Jim Weller from Delaware, on Facebook, and look at them. One of them's this little camera thing they got here. So anyway, Brooks is my executive producer, and Brooks, you're here till about 9 o'clock. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, I can't hear you, but I can see you over there. I do want to remind people we are recording this show, so you'll be able to see some stuff, but we don't get it up online until about Monday afternoon, and that's at wellerdoesdelmarva.com. But Weller's Utility Trailers, Brooks's brother, Brandon, who probably is going to try to outsell you today.
He's going to get a
Okay.
little bit of a head start.
A little bit of a head start because I guess he got to Bridgeville. We don't really open until 9, but he's got that store open.
Yeah, he's
So,
ready to go.
Yeah, I guess he's got all the blacktop rolled out and the sidewalk. He put it down and he unlocked the doors. I hope he turned the phones on. And he's
tired of getting beat.
He's tired of getting beat,
Yeah.
right? So today, now where are we at in numbers? Now, I think a few weeks ago we sold 30-some trailers in a week.
2 weeks ago, we sold 37.
37. Now that's probably a record for years. Is that right?
Oh, definitely.
I
For
mean,
a
long time ago when things were different in the land of Oz. In other words, when things were different, we might have sold more than 37. But 30, would you say 36, 37?
37.
37. And so, and I guess you're going to take a lot of credit for that.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to give it all to the great customers we have. But you do a great job too, Brooks. But so this week we're at what, 25 this morning?
25 right now, yep.
Okay, so we need to break that 37. So the first 12 trailer people, we're going to work extra hard. Well, really the first 13.
Absolutely, because we want to beat the 37.
We want to beat it. We don't want to just tie it.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we could get past 40
That's what I want
in
to do.
1 week?
All we need is 15. We can do it.
15.
We can do it.
15 would only bring us to what, 40?
Well, that would bring us to 40. So we need 16
240.
to get to 41.
So I guess if we got to 41, we could take all 41 of them customers like to the old mill for dinner or something like that.
That's your call, but sounds good to me.
Your call. Well, you got the credit card. Anyway, I did not make that offer. It was just a suggestion, folks. But anyway, we want to make a deal. So come on into Weller's. The sooner the better. We close at 1. We always get jammed up at the end of the day. Then we're less negotiable because we want to go home. But anyway, the sooner you can get there, the better. Weller's Utility Trailers, Route 13 in Bridgeville. Brooks is not there yet. He is here, executive producing this show. But anyway, he'll be there about 9:15. Would that be fair to say? But Brandon's there now,
Yep.
and he's willing to wait on any of Brooks's customers that want to be waited on.
I'm sure he is.
Hey, I want to tell you another thing. We're doing the Weller's Weight Loss Challenge. How you doing with that, Brooks?
Oh, not too well.
Not too well.
Hey,
Well,
I'm
I'm doing weller.
Yes, you are, and I am not in last place.
Okay, you're not in last place. Well, guess what? Neither am I this time around.
exactly.
And I want to give a lot of credit to my good friends Dave and Jeannie Morgan, who have been guiding me, coaching me, helping me with some products that they offer, some advice, some input, and so on. So if you're out there and you're listening, whether you're a guy or a gal, and you want to work on your weight and you want to get a little different, I'm amazed. What I'm more amazed is my face is getting smaller. But I still can talk just as much. So, in other words, that's my biggest worry is that I was going to lose all my muscles or ability to be able to talk so much. So, anyway, but my stomach and my chest and my face is all kind of shrinking down a little bit. So, but I want to just let you know if you have any questions about what I'm doing, or if you would like to talk to them and say, hey, I'd like to get a little more fit or drop a few pounds, and I noticed Jim hasn't changed his eating habits very much. What are you doing to this guy? Give him a call. It's 422-8315, 422-8315, and I do have a free offer from them. I normally do this every once in a while. Haven't done it in a while. We're going to be giving something away that they do that will almost show you instant results. So anyway, stay tuned for the later part of the show, and I also am going to talk Sean from First Class Heating and Air into giving out a special also before this show is over. So anyway, the next thing I do want to talk about is, I don't even know what it is other than we're trying to hit these 40 trailers at Weller's. I've been losing weight, and that's with some help from Dave and Jeannie Morgan, 422-8315. But at Weller's, we have a lot of stuff on special. And something that we've been getting a lot of, I'm amazed, would you say we probably get one used trailer in a day?
At least, yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it? Now, some of them we just literally buy.
Yes.
We just write a check for them and buy them. A lot of them are trade-ins and so on. So what we're saying is if you're listening, do we have any used dump trailers, do you know?
We have 2.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Okay, because we don't usually get a used dump trailer.
They are
so
very hard to find.
very hard to find. So we have them. I saw a really nice, unique, enclosed motorcycle trailer come in the other day.
Yes.
It looked like it was lower than normal.
Yep.
In other words, that's what the people hauling motorcycles seem to like.
Yeah, it's the Pace Legacy is the
Okay.
is the kind that it is, and it's made to sit low. So when you're pulling it, your vehicle, it's right around the same height as
Just
your
enough
vehicle.
to get the motorcycles in.
Exactly. That's what
Right.
it's.
So it's not like a
specifically made-
contractor would not want this one.
That's correct.
In
it's,
other
it's
words,
a motorcycle trailer.
right? This is made for. Hey, isn't it also made though? Like if you live in a development where you're not allowed to have a trailer in your driveway,
Can pull it
that
right
you
into
can
your
literally
garage.
back this in your garage with your motorcycles in it.
Yes.
So I knew you were going to get to that part.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what else in the used trailer line unique do we have that you know of?
We just got a 7x16 all aluminum.
I know. I
used
haven't
trailer.
priced that thing yet. That is one clean looking trailer, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, it is. It is very nice. Got
So
LED
it's 7 by
lights.
16. It's all aluminum.
Yep. It's got a V nose and it's got a little bit of a slant in the V.
Right, which makes it makes the V nose, which is supposed to be aerodynamic, even more aerodynamic.
Yep.
Like it's went through an energy test.
Exactly.
In other words, so and it's an aluminum frame, so it's lightweight.
Yes.
So 7 foot wide, 16 foot long. What do I want to come up with a special on that thing? That's probably about an $8,000 or $9,000 trailer new. Is that fair to say?
At least.
At least, okay. So let me think. What would be an incredibly good deal? Would $6,000 be a good deal for that?
I think it would, because that
Really?
thing is clean. It is
Clean.
very nice.
So we would say like new. I think it's a 2013 actually.
It is.
Really? So why don't we just put it on special today for like $5,500? You good with that, or is
I'm
that
good
too
with that.
low?
I'm good with that.
I mean, we have to
I
make
think-
up our mind before the delay on the radio kicks in.
I'm
So-
thinking it might be gone today.
Really, at
Oh, yeah.
$5,500?
Absolutely.
That is cheap, isn't it?
That is
Is
very
that too cheap?
inexpensive. I would say
Maybe we should ask the audience if that's too cheap.
Yeah, give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. Where? How?
Give the store a call.
At the store.
They're talking about this trailer for $5,500.
Demand that we put $6,000 on your credit card. In other words, I am not paying a discounted price. All right, $5,500 today and today only for a 7x16 enclosed trailer with a V nose, and then the top of the V slants downward just a little bit.
Yep.
The framing is all aluminum. The axles are probably steel.
Yep.
Do you know if it had anything else special about it? It's about 6 foot tall inside. Mm-hmm. It's got a side door.
Side door.
No, on the back it's double doors or a ramp door.
I believe it's a ramp door.
It is a ramp door.
Yeah.
It is a ramp door. Okay, so that's perfect for a contractor, motorcycle, sailboat fuel. Very popular thing now, hauling sailboat fuel.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't get that one. What?
That and post holes.
Post holes, yeah. Yeah, but not everybody has post holes, but a lot of people have sailboat fuel.
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah, and a lot of people have hot air, but we use barrels to haul that. All right, Brooks, what else you want to talk about?
Definitely come in. I mean, on Saturdays, the later it gets, the busier it gets, but we'll
Yes.
definitely get you taken care of.
We do take care of everybody, but
Yeah.
we become a little less negotiable at closing time. Like the car industry is the opposite. They'll stay there all night.
Sure.
In other words, where we kind of want to get out of there because as the owner, we start kicking into overtime, as far as the wages towards the end of the day. So naturally, I'm less negotiable at the end of the day. You get me in the morning, I'm ready to go. So, but after lunch in the late afternoons, I'm a little less negotiable. So phone number is, what is it, Brooks?
It is 337-8228.
And what is the website?
Wellers.com.
And it's not Wheelers, it's Wellers.
It's Wellers.
Okay.
We will wheel and deal, but it is Wellers.
All right. I also noticed we're selling a lot of carports and sheds, aren't we?
Yes, that
Had
is a
a
big market.
lady, Marty Taylor from Milton, her and her husband Don ordered one, and she's so happy that it didn't take as long as it was supposed to take to get there.
Oh, yeah, she was very excited.
She wanted to get her cars out from underneath of the trees and the birds and everything else. So anyway, don't they start at like $695?
Yeah.
And that is delivered.
Delivered and installed.
That's what amazes me is that they deliver it to your yard and set it up for you. Now, she claims them 3 people took about an hour from start to finish to set up her carport.
I believe it. I've got that story many times from many
Really?
customers. Yeah.
It's just the getting it. You got to order it. What is the reasonable time frame? 8
About
weeks?
8 to 10 weeks.
8 to 10 weeks. I think she got hers in a few weeks less, and she was really happy. Well, folks, we are going to take a break. We are going to redo our hair and reset things. We'll be back with Weller Does Delmarva in this big energy test. We're going to turn on the fan in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Good morning. It is 8:30. I'm Walt Marcus in the Delaware 1059 newsroom. In the news at this hour, a Roxana man is dead this morning following an accident on Pyle Center Road, rather. The accident happened last night near the intersection of Frankfurt School Road. Apparently the driver overcorrected after leaving his lane, lost control, and slid into and severed a utility pole. The vehicle driver was pronounced dead at the scene, properly restrained. His name has not been released pending notification of next of kin. That road was closed for about 3.5 hours. Forecast is calling for sunshine, clouds today, about 72 for the high. We're at 55 right now. Looks like the next chance of rain won't be until Wednesday. CBS covers the nation and the world. It's 8:31.
I'm Gary Nunn. A third wildfire has broken out on the Camp Pendleton Marine Base in Southern California, charring more than 22,000 acres. Base spokesman Lieutenant Ryan Finnerty.
The fire crews are going to keep working their hardest until all these fires are 100% contained. Everyone can go back to their homes and living areas, and everybody's safe.
At one time, more than 8,000 military personnel were forced from their quarters on the base. CBS's Ben Tracy is in Escondido.
It's a community cleaning up from an inferno that destroyed at least 8 homes, including this one belonging to David and Sherry Roberts.
Everything was going that direction. Then all of a sudden it turned around and the wind started blowing right towards me.
David thought his home was safe when firefighters surrounded it on Thursday, but then crews left when they thought the danger had passed.
And they told me, they said, if the wind ever changes, we'll be back here and we'll protect you. Wind changed, never saw him again.
Are you upset?
Yeah. I just feel like they let me down.
CBS News Update. I'm Gary Nunn.
Hi, this is Ed Lester, owner of the Brick Hotel, Restaurant, and Tavern. If you're looking for a unique and casual dining experience, join us at the Brick. We're open Tuesday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays with a $9 breakfast buffet.
Yes, a $9 breakfast buffet. On Friday, May 23rd, join Captain Mike, who will be performing on the rooftop as the Brick kicks off the summer season. Call for details or go online to thebrickhotel.com.
We'll see you at the Brick, where things are happening west of the beach.
Hi, this is Jason Dean from JD Sign Company. Is your sign ready for summer customers? Does your current sign need repair or bulbs replaced? Maybe it's time for a new sign, a vehicle wrap, or an electronic message sign. JD Sign Company has the solution for your company signage needs. Give us a call at 302-786-2761 or DelawareSign.com. That's JD Sign Company, 302-786-2761, DelawareSign.com.
Concord Pet is the proud sponsor of Wednesday's Wonder Pet with our local SPCAs. Throughout the years, Concord Pet Foods and Supplies has been dedicated to giving your pets the very best at the area's lowest prices. Locally owned and operated at Concord Pet, they feel the need to help their customers as if they're family, consistently striving to be the best in the area, from carrying bags to having a knowledgeable staff. Stop into Concord Pet today, where you and your pet will be treated like part of the family. Concord Pet, with 22 locations, there's bound to be a Concord Pet near you. Go to Delaware1059.com, enter keyword pet for more information.
As a builder or contractor, you're only as good as your reputation and the products you recommend. That's why there's no better partner than the independent dealers that carry Marvin Windows and Doors. Marvin is an industry leader, and Marvin dealers have the knowledge and expertise to help you get the job done right. Every Marvin product is handcrafted in America, providing strength, durability, and beautiful energy-efficient solutions. Enhance your reputation with ours, Marvin Windows and Doors, and our local independent Marvin dealers.
From new construction to remodeling and replacement projects, American Cedar and Millwork is the local resource you can count on for your next project. The team of window and door experts at American Cedar and Millwork has the expertise you need to ensure your job is a successful one. Call 302-645-9580 and schedule an appointment today. Visit American Cedar and Millwork in Lewis, Delaware. 302-645-9580.
Thanks for listening to Delaware 105.9 on your radio. And for your convenience, streaming live online. Visit Delaware1059.com to hear local news and talk for Delmarva online, streaming 24/7. Sponsored in part by Dart First State. Let Dart do the driving. Save money, save gas, ride greener. Bus routes statewide between Rehoboth, Georgetown, Dover, and Wilmington. Delaware 105.9, streaming live at Delaware1059.com.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
As long as I live.
A storage tank ruptured, and for miles, chemicals were pushing up against the riverbanks.
This was a big, big deal, and it was going to have serious impact on communities up and down the river.
I remember the moment this local guy came up to me and said, "They call the guard out for this stuff?"
You probably thought we were all about hurricanes, tornadoes, fighting Mother Nature.
Hey, it's a chemical spill. It's a disaster.
It affects the water supply, threatens wildlife.
We're talking about the health of entire communities and people's livelihoods.
You bet we're ready for these kinds of things.
We were out there with booms to prevent the spill from expanding.
We're responsible for protecting and monitoring the sensitive wetlands.
I also remember the moment that same guy came up to me and said, "I don't know what we would have done if they hadn't called the guard up."
Learn more about how you can protect your friends, families, neighbors, and the environment. Everything that makes up your community. Go to NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Maryland National Guard and aired by the Maryland, D.C. Delaware Broadcasters Association and this station.
Join Wirtz & Company on Coastal Highway between Rehoboth and Dewey today for their grand opening featuring outdoor kitchens and fireplaces, free Rita's water ice, and register to win outdoor hardscaping, a one-week stay at the Wirtz & Company place at the beach, Phillies tickets, outdoor grill, and more.
The following program is a paid commercial presentation. The comments, views, and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff, management, or advertisers of Delaware 105.9.
Hey, everybody. Good morning again. It's Jim Weller, and you're listening to Weller Does Delmarva. And today we are live. Well, we're live every time we do the show. But anyway, we are live today at my house. And we're doing an energy audit test on this place, and it's kind of amazing. I've got first-class heating and air here, and in a few minutes we're going to be cranking up the big fan and creating a negative vacuum or something inside this house, and it's going to pull. It's like a spring cleaning. It pulls everything out right out the front door. So anyway, but I want to thank a couple of sponsors. One is No Nonsense Office Machines. Man, this is a good friend of mine, Rick Fowler. I've been mentioning him week after week after week. I buy all my copiers, been dealing with him for years on that, repairs, maintenance, service agreements, and so on. But Rick doesn't just sell copiers. He also sells computers. He can custom build you a computer if you need it a certain way. He can actually make a computer look like something else, like a stereo system or a record player or something like that. He really can get real creative with things. He also works on gaming systems like a Wii or an Xbox 360 or anything like that. So if you got something, you need some advice, you need some input, you need somebody who's fair and honest and going to treat you fair and square, give him a call. It's Rick Fowler from No Nonsense Office Machines, 856-7381, 856-7381, located in Georgetown, just 2 miles east of the Circle, right there on Route 9, right next to Sports at the Beach Complex. And tell him I sent you. If you get something worked on, you mentioned Jim Weller or the show, he'll knock 25% off the labor on having something repaired, as long as you mention me. Got to mention it when you get the job done, not months later. Anyway, then I want to talk again about my accountant, George Luff, Luff & Associates. They're CPAs. They're in Milford and now Rehoboth, and now Dover. So probably been there for a little while, but I'm bragging like they just opened yesterday. But anyway, they do our payroll, easy payroll. So if you need an accountant or if you want somebody to do your payroll, that's something that's very scary with all the new rules and regulations and laws and things like that. So they'll take care of you. If you got 1 to 5 employees, it's only $25 a pay period. So think about that. 5 employees cost you $25 a pay period, and it's not $25 per employee. That comes out to $5 an employee. That's hard to believe. But give them a call if you have any questions. Tell them I sent you, 422-9699. If you just want to talk about things and see what they have to offer, give them a call, 422-9699. Now, we are here live at my house. I've got Sean here from First Class Heating and Air. And we've been here, and we've got this big gizmo hooked up to my front door. What'd you call it?
It's a blower door.
A blower door. Very technical name.
Absolutely.
Blower door. So anyway, they got this thing hooked to the door. Can we turn it on while we're on the radio? Is that okay?
Yeah. We'll turn it on the low speed.
All right.
There.
So what it's doing is it's sucking air out of the house. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. When we make a house more energy efficient, and you talk about air turns, the amount of time new air comes in and goes out and so on, does that help with allergies?
It does. If the house is breathing too much, if you have too much air coming into the house, of course, all the air that's outside, especially now, I mean, it's hard not to talk about allergies.
But I mean, if you come in to get out of the outside,
right, yes,
you don't want it to turn any more times than
being outside. So basically, what that measures is the amount of air that's leaking into the house, which basically correlates to about a size of a hole that's in the side of your house. So it'd be like keeping a window open, 6 inches or a foot. All the time. And that's going to allow a lot of air to come in and out. And when you put it in terms like that, it makes it very understandable. Instead of say, well, the house is tight, it's very tight, but I had to leave my window open, 1.5 foot, and that's a lot of air coming in year round. That's what it equates to. But what we do is we go through, we take measurements of all the rooms of the house. We get a square footage, total square footage of the home, and then we get a cubic foot load of the home with the ceiling heights and all that. 2 stories, 3 stories, we can separate them out. We can do it that way, test it. And then we plug that into part of the blower door the big data device on there is called an infiltrometer.
Good old infiltrometer.
That's the one that gives us all the information. But that runs the blower. Okay. And then gives us the cubic volume of the home that we need, and then it'll show us the amount of air exchanges per hour that the house is proving. Now, a healthy house, we want to be between 5 and 7 air exchanges, like we said. Okay. So anything less than 5, we need to add air to the home to make it healthier. Anything more than 7, we need to try to tighten it up, and to keep the bad air from coming in. And if we can isolate where the air is coming from, we can bring in fresh air from the good spots. We want it coming in from the windows and the doors. Those are healthy spots. We don't want it coming in from the crawl space or the attic where all the bad stuff is.
Dirt, dust, and mold. Yeah.
So that basically goes through, and as the fan, as we get the square footage and cubic footage, plug all that into the meter. We check the house for any kind of safety issues as far as gas appliances, fireplaces. Make sure there's nothing that's been running for a while, nothing that can pull, anything back into the house, which we don't want. Carbon monoxide levels, that's a very important thing. We have to walk around with a carbon monoxide detector to
so
make
it's
sure
not
there's
just energy.
there.
We're talking just safety in general.
Yeah, safety is actually the first check. This is really, that's more important. We found where they've had attached garages, and the garage has been so attached basically to the house as opposed to attached closer to the outside that if you have a car in a garage, and even if you keep the door open and you start your car up and within that 30-second of run time, you start your car up and back it out of there, carbon monoxide can stay in that area up to 2 hours and get into the house. So,
Really?
we want to make sure that garage is completely isolated from there. So you're not getting that into the house and getting low-level carbon monoxide
These
poisoning.
are the kind of things I can't believe anybody even really thinks of.
Yeah, and
somebody has
something,
to suggest this stuff.
Right, and you wouldn't think of it. You don't, I have the door open there. It's,
you build a
bigger,
house, and then years later you build a garage onto the house, and you never even take a moment and think.
No, it could be a safety issue. We get a lot of calls for people that, allergies are a big part of it, obviously.
Okay.
Health concerns, things like that, and we can find out that yes, the crawl space is so infested that you find that the air, your ductwork's in there and all that. That's pulling air into the house. We measure duct leakage. We measure how much the system is actually pulling air from the house, or pulling air from outside the house, outside that thermal boundary of the home. And that can with this blower door we can measure it both ways, and we can get exactly how a system's performing. You might have a 5-6 year old house, and you might have a high efficiency, even a geothermal system in the house. We can go in there and test that house and find out that system may be working to the equivalent of a mid-range 15-SEER heat pump, just because it's leaking so much.
Right.
So by going through and tightening and testing the house and tightening up those areas, we can actually increase the efficiency of the existing system just by making a few changes and a few things. But
I hate to ask you this question, but like when you get all done, are we talking like $5,000 worth of stuff, $10,000 worth of stuff? I mean, is there such a thing as just $2,000 or $3,000 worth of stuff?
Absolutely.
I mean, like, I'm getting nervous the more we sit here, but I mean, I started out a little less interested. I'm becoming more interested. But I mean, is it fair to say you could do a lot for $5,000?
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay, so as I sit here and think about this fan's running and Andy's taking all these thermal imaging pictures and so on, my brain is thinking numbers, and we haven't even got to that point yet.
Well, what this does is, like I said, we'll find out where the problem areas are, and a lot of times it's lack of insulation, or the two leakiest parts of any home are the ceiling and then the floor. You already took care of the floor, you did the crawl space, and that's that's
and that
pretty
little
major
camera
expense.
you have that he's walking around with earlier, we were looking at it. It somehow looks through my floor and because when you looked up at my ceiling, you could see areas that the insulation has either been pulled back or it's not there.
Right.
I have all these lights in the ceiling. That's not a good thing, evidently, until we fix the leakage. But yet, when you put it down to the floor, everything was good.
Yes, yeah, and that just proves that how well sealed up the underneath
everything was
is,
so.
and with that spray foaming and the barriers and everything that are down there. That's the nice thing about it. And with the fan running, that camera really shows air coming in. You'll see that it shows temperature differences, and it's very, very sensitive. So within a
this
couple of degrees,
camera's got to be a few $100.
A few thousand.
Yeah. It's kind of really neat, though. In other words,
it's
well,
amazing.
If somebody said, let's just say somebody's listening and they're like, "Holy mackerel, I never even heard of this." In other words, and you're saying it doesn't matter if you got a new house or an old house.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so I hate to ask prices, but like, what do you charge to come do this? And can we talk you into giving everybody a special?
I'm sure we can. You're giving out good rates on trailers today.
We're
so
trying.
we'll
Oh,
try to
yeah,
do
we're
something.
double the price, and then we cut it in half.
Yeah, there you go. We actually have some different specials and different coupons on our website itself.
Does it matter what size the house is to do the test?
It doesn't, to an extent. I mean, commercial
Okay.
properties and stuff like that, we really don't do it to many of them. And it depends on the setup on there. But a normal residential house, we test, 2 to 3 story houses. We can isolate them down. From 800 square feet to 4,000 or 5,000 square feet we've tested.
Oh, okay.
So, it really is the actual capability of the equipment, which is, it's a very good system. We can really get the size of the house, and as long as we can calculate the square footage, cubic footage in there, and it's within the parameters of our equipment, then we can test it, and then.
So somebody has you come do this. They're under no obligation. You charge a fee to do it, but beyond that, they're under no obligation.
Correct.
You give them a quote. You come back and give them a quote, even if they're sitting there saying, I'm not spending any money or whatever. So you give them a quote, and then they can ponder it from there.
Absolutely. And the nice thing about it is also 100% satisfaction. If you don't think it was worth it, you didn't learn anything, we don't charge for it. We've never.
I'm learning a lot. I don't know if I've learned enough yet or not. But
we've never had anyone say, "Wow, that was just a waste of time." I mean, it's eye opening. Like you can see.
This is eye opening. My wife is taking pictures. She's amazed. I can tell you, as soon as she leaves, she's going to say, "I want that stuff fixed."
And that's the other thing. When we do this, anything we come up with, we use this a lot of times in our sales processes now to check the ductwork and check the things.
Okay.
And it gives an exact idea of what you're going to be getting versus what you have in there now.
Right, so it's not a mystery.
No.
In other words, when you're done, you're saying, look, we'll just use the $4,000. You invest $4,000, and this is what kind of a return on your investment. I guess nowadays, if people have money in the bank or in CDs, they're making hardly nothing on it.
Is not
1%.
Right.
You're basically saying invest in your home, which is your most sizable investment, and you're going to get a continual rate of return because no energy costs are going down.
No,
they're all going up.
Yep, absolutely, and that's the one thing that we really do see with that. You get a very good return, and it's measurable, and it's monthly. You see it back on your utility bills.
Because I tell you, my electric bill, and I know that wasn't even in part of that new heating system, or if you said it, I don't remember, but it went down like $40 a month in the middle of this winter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm amazed. I'm just amazed. I wasn't expecting that. That's if it was $40 a month for 5 months. That's a $200 a year savings.
Absolutely. Yep.
And
that right there, you can actually see.
It's a measurable savings. Yes. Well, what kind of deal can we make? In other words, what we're talking about is if somebody wanted to hire your company, First Class Heating and Air, to come out and say, "Hey, I want you to measure the performance of my house."
Yeah, we do.
Nobody has to do any jumping jacks or anything like that.
We can come out there and do that. Like I said, typically the test is I'm gonna say $199.
Couple $100.
Yeah, a couple $100. Okay. If you call and mention that you heard us on Weller Does Delmarva, we can probably do it for $149.
Really?
And what we'll do with that is, like I said, it's a satisfaction guarantee. If you also decide to move forward with a new system or any of the upgrades that we do come back with the report and give you ideas, we credit that test back. So you get that off the top of the
so
test
if
back.
you
So it's
you come out and you say this is what it is. Is there a time frame? Can I have a year to make up my mind, or you need me to? Is it like the timeshare? I got to do it before you leave.
No, we don't have to do it that way. But usually we do something within 30 days if you decide to go through there, or season wise, we do different things. Coming up in the fall, that's usually
you don't want me thinking about it forever.
Right, but I mean that's also a thing. If you can see that it's something that is definitely going to be beneficial to you, you want to capitalize on it as quick as possible. You want to start saving that money as soon as possible. Right. So we do that. With the systems, and we have upfront pricing. We come up with that, and then so here's your price.
There's no guesswork, no mystery to it.
You paid $149. We're taking $149 off the cost of that system. So there's really zero out of pocket at the end of the. It's already credited back in. Right. So you're good there for it. Huh. And you know exactly what you're getting, and you know the performance of it. We also test in and test out, which means we test the house beforehand. We find the problems. We do the fixes. We come back and retest it, and you'll see the numbers of air exchanges. I think when we ran this earlier, we're bordering about 9 to 10 air exchanges in here right now.
Really?
So it's not bad.
That's
by
not
any
helping
means.
my allergies.
No, it's not bad by any means either. But there's room for improvement. Okay. And just by the infrared, very quickly we saw that the attic door is leaking a little bit, and some of the recessed can lights and all
attic
that.
Door.
Yeah. But we can go through, and then when we get more in depth, we check each room. We find out how attached that room is to the outside, or it's closer to the inside, and then we can say, all right, well, this room's a little leakier. Let's figure out where in this room is leaking and fix that. And all those numbers basically break down to a cubic foot of airflow. And as we get that number
which
closer,
is a measurable dollar value.
Exactly right. And
this is no lie. In my bathroom, if I shut the door and turn on the fan and stand at the sink and get my hand near the electric receptacle, I could feel air coming through the electric receptacle.
Yep. Most of them are that way. You'll see it when you go around.
All the way in the middle of the house in the bathroom.
Because the wires either come up from below or down from the ceiling, and newer houses now they're sealed up and caulked in, but not a lot of them are. And when we go through with the infrared, you'll actually see the walls, and you'll see cold spots around those outlets and where they're glowing, and some of the
something like that.
They actually have little kits that go on the backside. You pull the plate off the outlet, and there's like a little felt kit that goes on there. You can,
because you do electrical work.
We do. Yes, we do.
So what you're saying is you can do it all.
Yep.
You're dealing with one company. You're not bringing in a whole boatload of subs.
Right. Exactly.
Subs. Anyway, so you're responsible for whoever's on the scene.
Whoever's there. Yep,
wow.
absolutely.
2 minutes left.
So.
All right, Brooks. Thanks a lot. We thought we had all day here, didn't we?
I tell you, it goes quick.
It does. Okay, so it's First Class Heating and Air.
Yes.
934-8900.
Correct.
Okay. I just, as of this past Monday, had a rental house, air conditioning not working, and you're putting in a new system today. I'm very amazed. And so are the people that live there.
And I'm actually going out there when we leave here just to double check on everything and make sure everything's moving smoothly.
Well, you told you guys to be there by noon, right?
Yeah. In fact, when I went by the office this morning, about 6:45, they were loading the trucks up, getting ready to go. So, yeah, they get moving pretty quickly, even on a Saturday. Very good.
I'm
good.
impressed. Everybody I've interfaced with, from the lady that takes the call to the guys that come out. I have a lady that manages my rental. They called her. They met with her. They just made it kind of easy for me. So
we tried to do.
All right. Well, anything else in closing?
No, just check out our website. There is a lot of information on the home performance test on there as well. There's some videos that are linked to it, so it's very in-depth. You can learn a lot more about it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Jim.
First Class Heating and Air. I personally use them. I personally suggest you give them a call. All right. I want to talk about another good company I deal with, L&W Insurance Agency. Of course, I mention them every week. I like them. I'm happy with my insurance company. In fact, anybody I deal with, I'm pretty well happy with, okay? That's fair to say. But they've been around a long time. So if you want to double-check your auto insurance or your home insurance or your health insurance or your life insurance or your commercial coverage, and I'll tell you what, in the insurance world, price is important. But, man, one thing about it, you need to make sure you are properly covered, and that's what you're going to get with L&W Insurance. They're going to give you good rates, but they're going to make sure that you're not hurting yourself. 856-7828, 856-7828. On the web, it's lwinsurance.com. Tell them I sent you if you would. I mentioned earlier that I've lost some weight. I've lost about 12, maybe 13 pounds. Been dealing with Dave and Jeannie Morgan on some products and things that they have. Something I have been doing is a weekly wrap, in other words. And that is the most amazing thing. I have been targeting just my stomach. So my stomach's getting a little bit smaller. My shirts are fitting a little bit looser. And I had to poke another hole in my belt and come up one more notch in the positive direction, not the old direction. So anyway, if you have any questions, you want to talk about the products they have to offer, give Dave or Jeannie a call, 422-8315, 422-8315. But the other thing is, I had done this a few weeks back. I'm not 100% sure if she's going to be pleased if I do it again, but I'm going to throw this special out there. If you give a call now and talk to Dave or Jeannie and say, look, I heard Jim on the radio, I want a free wrap. To the first 5 people that call her, and if you get her voicemail, leave a message with the time that you called so she knows where you're at in that first 5. But she will wrap you one time at no charge if you're the first 5 people to call. Most people see instant results. If you don't see them instantly, you will see them within 72 hours. So I have had good results with their products and what she has to offer. I appreciate her guidance and her friendship. So her and her husband Dave have done a good job for me. Haven't altered my eating habits very much. Anybody that watches me on Facebook can figure that out real quick. I like to eat out. And my wife is also a great cook, so when I'm not eating out, I'm eating her great meals. But anyway, I like to eat, but they have helped me with some things that have helped me make some minor changes, and I've lost about 12 to 13 pounds, and I'm very happy. So anyway, 422-8315, be one of the first 5 callers for that. What else do we want to talk about? Brooks Ritter is my executive producer today. And he is here at my house. We've done this energy audit. I'm absolutely amazed. My wife is more amazed than I am. But anyway, it's kind of exciting. So if you want to save some money on your home, which is your probably the biggest investment most people make, And it saves you money month after month. Plus, you live more comfortably. It's not just a matter of your energy, your house being more efficient. You also live more comfortably. But, Brooks, are you going to be in sales today?
I'm going to be in sales today.
Tell me they're busy over there.
That is good to hear.
They're good. They're taking care of your customers for you.
I'm going to have to pack up quick and get over there.
So Brandon is over there. Jason is over there. It's Weller's Utility Trailers. We're right on Route 13 in Bridgeville, 337-8228 on the web. It's wellers.com. And we're open today till what, 1 o'clock?
Till 1 o'clock.
And our big focus is 15 trailers.
That is correct.
All right. And are people allowed to purchase more than one trailer at a time?
Absolutely.
And we have some people once in a while pop in and buy like 6 and crazy numbers like that. Yeah.
We have quite a few people buy multiple trailers.
Yeah. And we have many customers that have probably bought 5 or 10 of them off us. Didn't Jerry, what's the name of his business? Jerry Santoro.
Yep.
Does landscaping and stuff. He's bought a boatload. Not a boatload.
Yep.
Not a boatload. They don't come on boats. They come on tractor trailers. But anyway, he's bought a lot of trailers.
He was there yesterday, got one.
Yeah, we want to say thanks to our customers. We have many customers bought 5, 10, 12, 15 trailers over the years, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Well, we've been around forever. How old are you?
I'm 30.
I've been in business longer than you've been alive.
Wow.
And I only look 25. So anyway, I'm 56. I've been in business since I was 16 years old. So anyway, Weller's Utility Trailers. We have many trailers in stock. We're a friendly little group. We're fair. We're honest. We're going to do a good job. Oh, I almost choked on that one. Do a good job for you. We're not perfect. We do make mistakes now and then. And we'll make it right if we do. So what do they need to do? Just call us now. Operators standing by.
Give us a call, 337-8228.
Yeah, we've been hiring. We're growing. We're having a heck of a year. Folks, I am out of time. I want to just ask you to check out Eagles Nest Church tomorrow morning at 9:30. Pastor Bill Sammons will be speaking, talking about some life experiences. Feel free to visit us. Other than that, enjoy the weekend. Beautiful day. Dave Hill, if you're listening, happy birthday. His birthday's tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you, Fran. I'll see you. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye.
We'll see you.
The preceding program was a paid commercial presentation. Local news first.